We often think of time as a gift, right? Something we can spend, or save, or cherish. But what if we've got it all wrong? What if the steady march of the clock isn't a resource to be used, but a profound burden we are all sentenced to carry?
Time is not a gift, but a heavy sentence. Just let that sink in for a moment. This one idea completely reframes our entire relationship with existence. It asks us to consider that the minutes, days, and years we experience aren't something to be treasured, but a sentence to be served.
And to really understand this sentence, you have to meet the one who serves it, the messenger. Now, this isn't some god or demon. It's something much more fundamental. It's the very personification of inevitability itself.
So let's start there. Section 1, a sentence called time. What does it actually mean to embody this heavy sentence? Let's unpack the nature of this mysterious figure.
When you look at how the messenger is described, it's fascinating. It's a silent observer, you see. Not some active, destructive force, but just a presence. And its very existence is enough to leave cracks in the fabric of reality. I mean, what a powerful metaphor for how the relentless passage of time just wears everything down.
And here's the crucial point. The messenger isn't here to pass judgment or to punish. Its role is simply to observe, to be the final impartial witness to the story of every life, every civilization, every single star. It's like looking into an honest mirror that reflects a future that has already grown weary.
Okay, Section 2, the Lantern of Weeping Sand. To fulfill its purpose, the messenger carries this one powerful object, a symbol for all endings.
The lantern itself is made from the shards of broken hourglasses, which is just incredible imagery. But it's what's inside that's truly haunting. It's something called weeping sand, and each tiny grain, as you see here, represents a life that was interrupted, a moment that was always destined to end. It is literally a lantern filled with every goodbye ever spoken.
And this so brilliantly illustrates the core truth the messenger delivers. See, the lantern doesn't represent death as a failure, but as an inherent promise. It's a guarantee that's just built into the nature of existence. Its light simply illuminates the fragility of everything.
So if the end is a promise, why do we struggle against it so much? Well, that brings us to the human side of the equation. Section 3, the agony of possession, our often agonizing relationship with time.
The stories tell of people who try to fight this. You know, there's this man who's so obsessed with controlling his fate that he fills his home with clocks, constantly watching the west for the sunset, for the end. He's living in a state of constant, paralyzing anticipation. He's trying to bargain with a truth that can't be negotiated.
And that's because the messenger doesn't operate on our schedule, it can't be delayed or appeased. Its arrival is always sudden, non-negotiable, and it's woven right into the most ordinary moments of life. This slide really breaks down the central lesson. On the left, you see the agony that comes from trying to possess time, from clutching its seconds and decades. But on the right, you see the peace that comes from simply experiencing it, from accepting it. The story suggests that when we surrender to the flow, we don't find defeat, we actually find freedom. And this leads to such a profound insight. Some wounds do not bleed, they tick. This is talking about our deepest injuries, the existential ones, that internal clock counting down our moments. You can't heal that with medicine. You can only bear it with a very specific kind of grace.
Okay, let's zoom out now, from the personal struggle to the truly cosmic scale. Section 4, the witness at the end. The messenger's vigil extends far, far beyond individual lives.
The messenger's vigil is not only for the one, but for the all. It witnesses everything, from the flicker of a single life to the slow, eventual death of an entire galaxy. Its purpose extends to the very end of existence itself.
I mean, just try to imagine this final scene. All the stars have burned out. The universe itself is starting to fray at the seams, and the messenger's the last one there. It remains at the edge of the great nothingness, just holding the last fading light, the final memory of everything that ever was. And this brings us to the final and I think beautiful resolution. Section 5, time freed from its burden. What happens when the work of this cosmic witness is finally done?
In that final moment, the messenger's role shifts. It's not just a silent observer anymore, it becomes a storyteller.
It doesn't mourn the end. Instead, it whispers about the beauty of the journey, the sheer, staggering length of time it took for everything to play out. That heavy sentence is recontextualized as this magnificent, sprawling epic.
The messenger's vigil is infinite, right up until that point of absolute finality. Its rest is earned only when there's nothing left to witness, when the last ember of existence finally fades.
And here we have the ultimate conclusion. If time is a sentence, then the end of everything is its release. At last, time itself is freed from the burden of being. The clock stops, not just for us, but for time itself.
So all this brings the question from the cosmic right back down to us. We all carry that internal clock, right? That wound that ticks instead of bleeds. The story of the messenger suggests that fighting it leads to agony, but accepting it can lead to peace. And it leaves us with this to think about. In the face of our own finite time, how will you find your own grace?